But, oh wow, okay, cool. Hi, welcome to this really low quality stream. Wow, I was looking at the feedback and it is so fuzzy. Anyway, why am I doing this? Why am I here? Well, first off, I'm the only one here, so this is, I guess, just for the rewatch value. But I had quite a lot of stresses and concerns with uploading Trans 101 because, and we'll get into those in a minute. So I wanted to do this to sort of go over those and sort of give some critiques of the video that I've had from other people and also have myself, and sort of like kind of illustrate what my plans are for Trans 101 and what I kind of want to go forward and do. So the first thing is this channel's grown exponentially since, in subscribers at least, since I last uploaded a video. Like last year, I only really uploaded, I think, 5 videos, and that was because I wasn't happy with what I was making, and I was really, really busy with uni, like the last year of uni, and all of that stuff. But coming back, when at the start of 2018 I had like 200 subscribers, and now I have like nearly 650 subscribers, it was stressful because I don't know if you know this, but when you reach a milestone like 500 subscribers or something, YouTube sends you an email telling you how, or Google sends you an email telling you what that number equates to. So when I got to 500, it was like an entire jumbo jet full of people. And I was like, that's a lot of people. And I'm of the belief that media influences people's beliefs and people's behaviors and how we view the world. I mean, for example of that, you can look at Birth of a Nation and how that movie basically just rebirthed the KKK. So, yeah. Or you could look at Clockwork Orange and how violence in the UK went up, like had an uptick when that film came out. So, obviously, films do actually, and the media we consume affects how we view the world and how we interact with the world and our opinions and stuff. So making videos that people are going to see is stressful. And yeah, I've been making videos for 10 years, but I've just been doing it for fun and just messing about with it. And it's never actually really had an audience. I never expected anyone to watch the videos, but now it's a guarantee that at least 30 people are going to see every video I upload. And therefore, I want to make sure what I'm saying in that video isn't problematic and it's not going to put out any viewpoints that are bad or dangerous, or going to make somebody hate on someone, or that can be misconstrued. You understand what I mean? I don't want to have a negative influence on someone's life, be it me making them feel shit, or them taking what I've said, internalizing it, and then making other people feel shit. So I want to be really, really careful, and because of Trans 101 and what it is, so just let's go for what the pitch for Trans 101 is. I think on the internet, when it comes to transgender subjects, most people talk about transgender subjects from a standpoint of having a baseline understanding of the subject, whereas on the street, whenever I go to the pub or whatever and people find out I'm trans, they have no fucking idea about any of it. So yeah, we're going to make this rated 12. So that was the only F1 I'm allowed. So I kind of wanted to make something that gave all of the extremely basics of transgender subjects, of transgender stuff, so that people can watch that and then they can go and watch other transgender content and to have the baseline understanding to be able to actually interact with it on a good faith level and understand what people are saying. Because like I say the word cis to people and they're just baffled. And that's like, there's like white people not knowing they're white. So I just think that there needs to be something online that gives that baseline understanding. And if that's my thing, if that's Trans 101, then fantastic. But I don't know, I feel like that was a niche that needs to be filled, so I'm trying to do it. But here's the thing, doing that requires me to boil down things to their base elements. It requires me to simplify things so that somebody who has no understanding of the subject at all, and probably also has quite a lot of biases and misconceptions about the subject, or like old pieces of information that are no longer relevant or have been proven wrong. So in order to, sorry, I lost what I was saying, but in order to give that audience the correct information and information that they can digest, understand, I'm going to have to boil things down so much that they kind of become wrong or become hard to like build on. And it's a really fine line to walk across of oversimplifying to a dangerous, to a wrong, making all the information wrong, to simplifying just enough so that the audience that I'm aiming for can actually understand and interact with the content so it's accessible. It's a very fine line, and I was so paranoid that I wasn't actually going to walk it well with Trans 101. And obviously each video I do, each script I do is going to have that same issue. Like the line is still going to be there until maybe we get into like the 20th one and we've already built the baseline from all the older ones, so I can actually get a bit more detailed. But yeah, and from what people have told me, like my mates who have seen it and some other people online who've DM'd me, it's gone down fairly well. Like everyone thinks I've walked that line quite well. There's a few things that I think I should have said or I said wrong, and I want to mention those now. So the first one's the most petty one. It's just the one that somebody came up to me. I was like, you said NBI in the video. Didn't you mean NB? And I don't know if it's a sort of potato, tomato type thing, like if both pronunciations are correct, like GIF and GIF. But yeah, that's a thing. So I said NBI is the short and colloquial version of non-binary, but a lot of people pronounce it NB, which I don't think either are wrong, but it's something I should have put in a video, which I didn't. It would have taken 3 extra words. And yeah, so I'm not too worried about that one. It's not really going to affect anyone massively negatively. Then the biscuit metaphor. When I was explaining, it was unnecessary for one, and it was just cringy to rewatch. And I think it's always going to be cringy to rewatch. So yeah, the biscuit metaphor is just silly. It was meant to be funny, but I think it just comes off as cringy because I don't really sell it as a joke. I sell it as a serious metaphor because of who I am. I'm not a very jovial person, so things come off quite seriously when I'm saying them. But I think it's fine. It's not terrible. It's cringy, and it wasn't necessary. I think I explained what an umbrella term is without the biscuit thing quite well, so I don't think I needed to do that. What's the next one? Yeah, this was the biggest one I had an issue with, and it was that I called gender identity true gender. And the reason I did that was, I don't know why I did that. I wrote that script a while ago, like at the start of February. But I think the reason I called it true gender was, one, I didn't want to overdo it with all of that academic reasoning and like academic studies. Like I didn't want to start talking about Judith Butler in that video, because it wasn't for that. It was for just explaining the very basic words of like cis, trans, non-binary, and AMAB, AFAB, all that stuff. So I called it true gender, but what I meant by true gender was gender identity. And I'm going to do another video which goes more deeply into gender identity. But yeah, so you're assigned a gender at birth, and then you have an innate knowledge of your gender identity. So, and it might take some experimentation or like some figuring out of exactly what that gender identity is. But everyone sort of has a gender identity, and that's what I meant by true gender. That's the thing that you transition towards expressing and towards living when you transition away from your assigned gender. Then the last point I have here is dysphoria. I didn't mention dysphoria at all, and it didn't even occur to me to mention dysphoria because I'm not someone who really suffers with it. If you've watched this channel before or watched older videos of mine, I've sort of talked about how I don't really have that bad dysphoria. I think it's like Vedum 5, where I talk about I didn't feel like I was trans because there were people around me who were also trans, who were having panic attacks when people misgendered them. But when people have misgendered me, it's all sort of gone, okay, whatever. I don't care about your point of view, so fuck it. It's 2 F-bombs, oh well. So yeah, my dysphoria has never been that bad, and I've always had an innate sense of my gender identity. And when I was younger, if I guess you could call it dysphoria. It was more so like social dysphoria. I never really had body dysphoria. I didn't get body dysphoria until I came out as trans. And then everybody was telling me, oh my God, your brows are so big. Oh my God, your shoulders are so broad. Oh my God, this. And like comparing me to cis women. And that made me uncomfortable because I was like, oh God, then why am I not like, do I not like pass as a woman? Am I not being a woman? But obviously what I was doing was just adhering to the cultural idea of a woman, which wasn't built or designed with trans people in mind. It was built from cis women. And also it wasn't built with all cis women in mind, which is why the beauty industry is a fucking shit pile. So comparing myself to the cultural idea of what a woman is what gave me dysphoria. Like before, I just had an innate idea of like what my gender was, and I knew that expressing as masculine wasn't a good fit. It didn't work, but I didn't really get distressed from it. What I got distressed from was having to hide it. Like I have been expressing like this in my bedroom and in private since I was like what? I just went and started secondary school because that's when I could actually get away with it. So it's since I was 11. But I've wanted to do this since I was like 8. I've known that, I want to express as feminine. I want to wear the girl's uniform. I want to do all this sort of stuff. I want to be known as like this name. And obviously I haven't always been wanting to be known as Alice. It's kind of been a thing. But I didn't know what all those feelings were because I wasn't told what trans people were. I was told that sex changes exist. I found out about that when I was about 12 because I watched the IT Crowd. But sex changes and people who had them, or like as they were known back then, sex changes, obviously by now I mean like gender transition and GRS and HRT and all that sort of medical treatments. It was known as a sex change. And back when I was younger, trans people basically were treated in the media as monsters or as the butt of jokes or as something to be ashamed of. It was a bad thing to be. So I didn't want to be that, and I pretended that I wasn't for the longest time. But always knew that I wanted to express more femininely, and I always knew that I was a woman. But I didn't get distress from the fact that I'm like this. I was like born with a Y chromosome. I got distress from the fact that I had to hide it and the shame that built up around like, oh my god, I can't be this. I'm meant to be a boy. I'm meant to do this thing. Everyone's telling me that I should be doing this. Why do I want to be a woman? Why do I want to express as a woman? That's what was distressing. And I don't think that's dysphoria. I think that's internalized transphobia. Because dysphoria is the distress between your assigned gender. I guess it kind of is dysphoria, but not in the sense that most people have it. Maybe it is in the sense that most people have it. I don't know. But after I came out and was like this, all of those feelings like went away. It's like, yes, I can do it now. Ha! Fuck you, family. I ran away from my hometown and lived here, and now I can do this. Yay. But then obviously my dysphoria had an uptick because everyone started comparing me to cis women, and like that kind of gave me really bad dysphoria for like the first year. And then after that, I kind of had an epiphany of like, no, wait, they're just comparing all of the dysphoric thoughts I have are the same things that transphobes say to me to invalidate my womanhood. So no, fuck this. Just no. Dysphoria was just a transphobe that lived in my head. So I said fuck off to that and moved on. Actually more so at the end of the second year, because I got that epiphany because I watched Ollie's Philosophy Tube's Split Consciousness video, which split mind video even. Yeah, I think it's called I Hate Myself. And it's a really, it helped me realize that all of the dysphoric thoughts I was having were just the same things that transphobes tell me. So I don't respect the opinions of transphobes. When they say shit at me, I'm just like, oh, fuck off. So why was I accepting the same thing from my own brain? And then I just stopped accepting it from my own brain. But how did I get onto this? Oh yes, I didn't mention dysphoria in the video because it's such a big topic. You see, I went on a tangent, and now we're 15 minutes in. I'm going to have some alcohol because I haven't had some in a while. It's such a big topic that I didn't want to just bring it up. Also, it didn't even occur to me because I was talking about the narrative of being assigned to gender, having a different gender identity, and then moving towards that gender identity. That was the narrative that I used to convey all of the different words for like AMAB and cis and trans and everything. And I think that was a good vehicle in order to make it a watchable thing and like see all of that stuff. But I think that obviously dysphoria plays a part in that process for a lot of people, but for me it wasn't. Dysphoria was more so an obstacle that was preventing me from being able to be happy and get to my end goal, like be able to live as my true self properly, like as my gender identity, like happily. So yeah, dysphoria is a big thing, and I don't know if I'll ever, I'll do a video on it eventually, but it's a big subject, and I want to talk to more people who have really bad dysphoria or people who have never had dysphoria at all, so that I can get a more rounded idea of it, so that I can then make a video that's aimed at cis people who have never heard of it before. Because that's what Trans 101 is. It's for cis people who have never heard of anything before. But no, yeah, and seeing as one with the subject of dysphoria, and the reason it's on my mind so much right now is I'm going to be doing a live stream debate on Tuesday with Miss London. If you don't know who Miss London is, she's a conservative YouTuber who is also transgender, and she makes like comedy videos where she takes a piss out of TERFs and stuff like that. And then she also makes vlogs, kind of a bit like Trans 101, but a bit more on the less formal side, informal side. And she sort of like gives her opinions on different sort of subjects. And she collabs with other YouTubers and like talks about trans stuff, or whatever. Yeah, and I don't know, she's basically, I wouldn't really say she's an anti-SJW. Like, she's not like I'm a skeptic or any of those people. She's just someone, I guess, on the opposite side of the political spectrum to me. And therefore we have a few different ideas and a few different opinions on subjects like dysphoria, and if you can be trans without dysphoria. I obviously think you can. She thinks you can't. So we're going to be talking about that and just having a little bit of a debate. And no, yeah, most people who watch this will probably come and see it after the debate. So how'd that go? Did you wipe the floor with me? I'm sure you wanted to wipe the floor with me. Sorry. What's this? Oh yeah. Okay, this is fine. I don't know. People are liking my tweet about this, but no one's coming out to say hi. But no, yeah, so I'm excited about the debate. I think it'll be fun. But sorry about that. That was really rude. I'm talking to you, and that was just that was just really rude. I'm very sorry about that. no, what was that? I'm excited about the debate. I'm also worried about it because she has like an audience of 60,000 people, and which is, you know, like way more than me. It's like over 60 times more than me, like just over 60 times more than me. And obviously most of the people who are going to be watching a video, like, well, pretty much all the people who are going to be watching a video are going to be people from her channel who probably already agree with what she's saying. So I'm just really worried about getting dogpiled by her audience, like all of her audience sort of just hating on me and calling me a transgender and all these other silly names that don't denote any actual meaning. In just spamming my comments and just trying to make me feel like shit. And I mean, I'm prepared for that. I know that that's probably going to happen, and this is why I am the way I am, because I've always like been, oh well, this awful thing's going to happen, so I guess I'll just do this as an this to negate it, and it'll be fine. Yeah, no, live a life as a closeted trans person who doesn't know that trans people exist, and who's also in and out of hospital constantly with brain shit. And you know, yeah, it's great. It's great. I'm broken. I'm glitching. Cool. What was I saying? No, yeah, I'm just worried that her audience are going to come over to my channel and dogpile it, and yeah, and like if I don't argue well, it could just kill all of this. And I'd like to be able to do this as a job. I don't want to be famous, but like I want to be able to do this as a bit of a job. Hi. Hey, Catherine. How you doing? So I wasn't actually expecting anyone to turn up, so this just took me a bit by surprise. No, so... Oh, hi, Ryan. Oh, there's people turning up. This is cool. I wasn't expecting that. So I've kind of already gone over all the points that I had, but I don't know if you two or three, I don't know who else has turned up, but hi, want to hear them again, then I don't know, just let me know. But basically I was really stressed out about Trans 101 because the whole thing is me oversimplifying stuff for cis people or people who have no knowledge of the subjects at all, and I was worried that I would oversimplify too much and mess everything up. And then I know I'm kind of just talking about the debate that I have on Tuesday now and have been preparing for it. So I don't know. That's the first time I streamed. I don't really know what to do here. I don't really want to go over everything I just said, because then people who watch this back, I guess this is most of the people who are live. I don't know. How do people do this for like 3 hours? Right. Who's watching and what? So my original idea for this stream, one person who's watching, was I had a bunch of thoughts about Sisyphean task. Yeah, I guess it is. So what Ryan's just said is that kind of sounds like a Sisyphean task, which for anyone who doesn't know is the Greek myth of the guy who has to push a boulder up a hill every single... Why am I explaining this? Most people know what that means. But no, so yeah, Ryan, it kind of is, but I think it's a way to do it, because I just noticed that most of the stuff online for trans stuff, cool. But no, I've noticed that most of the stuff online for trans content expects you to have a baseline understanding of the subject. But whenever I go to the pub or whatever and meet someone and they find out I'm trans, they don't even know what the word cis is. So how am I meant to talk to them about it or educate them about it? So I've just become really, really used to boiling things down to such an extent that they're still accurate, but they're able to explain it to a person who has never understood anything at all. And I think that is a niche that needs to be filled on YouTube. There needs to be a series of videos where we can actually give all of the baseline understanding to people who have never come across transgender issues at all, and then they can go off and actually participate in other videos and in the conversations below other videos that go into more depth. So that's why I wanted to do Trans 101, and that's why the first video was so basic. It was literally almost patronizing if you're trans. But then as the videos go on, and like obviously I'm going to treat them as accumulative. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's something that is needed, and it's a hard line to walk of simplifying enough for people who have never had any education or knowledge of it at all, and then oversimplifying it so that it's incorrect. Like walking the line between that is really hard, and then also trying to keep it entertaining still, which is a bit why I do the egg thing. It's hard, and I don't know. And then, yeah, there's also a few things in the first video that I called gender identity true gender, which was just a bit wrong and oversimplifying things. Oh, the debate. It's with Miss London on Tuesday. She believes that you have to have dysphoria to be trans, and I don't really have dysphoria. So, but I think everyone would sort of agree that I am trans. So we're debating, do you need to have dysphoria to be trans? And I'm saying, no, you don't. She's saying, yes, you do. It'll be over on her channel. And I'm just really worried about getting dogpiled by like the assholes in her audience, because she has like 60,000 subscribers. So yeah, but it'll be fine. Everything will be fine. I know the points I want to make. I know the points that she's probably going to make, and I know how to rebut. Well, obviously I'm not just going to be there to try and prove her wrong, but I'm going to be there to actually listen to what she's saying and try and understand her point of view. But yeah, I don't know. I've asked advice from a load of people, like Sky and Ollie and all these other people, about how to prepare for a debate, and I think the best, they've all said, try and figure out what they're going to say and what you would say in response. Like, don't just have your own points. Have your own points configured in a fashion that would be able to work into a conversation where you use them to sort of talk about their points, which is interesting. And I've never done a debate before, so this would be really interesting. That's not actually true. I did have to do a debate once in high school. I was forced to by like my class tutor, and I just went up to the front of class and then couldn't say anything, but I was 16 then. I think I'm better now, and also there won't be a big audience in front of us. It'll just be me talking to her over Skype, so that'll be fine. Also, yeah, what's this? Personally, I think that dysphoria should be taken off as an actual mental illness. It's much more of a symptom, and you don't need all the symptoms that lead to being a trans person. I think calling it a symptom of being trans is also kind of medicalizing it. So the sun's going down now, all the colors are overtaking the whiteness. I think more so dysphoria is an emotional response to a stimulus, and it can be an internal stimulus or it can be an external stimulus. I don't think it's a prerequisite for your identity. Oh, wait, buy as in like buying something, or goodbye? Okay. If you're leaving, Ryan, bye. But I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to just say all my points here, because then this stream is just going to be the debate, but one-sided. But yeah, that's my major one. Like, dysphoria is distress, and it's awful, but it's distress of, like, I don't know. I just stopped viewing my shoulders as men's shoulders and realized that women's bodies are massively varied, and our cultural idea of what a woman is built on cis bodies. It's not built with trans people in mind. So my shoulders aren't like, I've met cis women with wider shoulders than me. So like this broadness doesn't make me a man, and therefore I don't have dysphoria about them. They're women's shoulders. Like, and maybe I'm getting dysphoria wrong because I don't experience it, so I don't understand it properly. But I don't know. It'll be an interesting debate, and I'll be more awake for it because obviously this is it's quite late. I'm just going to open this blind because the colour's starting to take over. That's a tiny bit better. I don't know. How's everyone else anyway? There's 3 of us. Well, including me, there's 4 of us here now. So my plan was to like stream for as long as it took me to say everything I wanted to say, and then if there are people here to just sort of hang out in chat. So I've already said everything I want to say. Really. So yeah, it's how you free. It's the first time I've streamed. Why do people watch streams? Because I usually just sort of put streams on in the background as I'm writing, or like just sort of doing the dishes or something. They're not really something I go in and participate with live. So I don't quite understand the drive or like what people get from them. So why do you 3 watch streams? I think that's an interesting thing. Probably advertising here, but no, shouldn't be. My original idea for this was after I'd said everything I was going to say, I was going to invite like some other YouTube people to come and play Jackbox, but I don't know how to do all the techie shit. I didn't plan for that far enough in advance to like be able to actually make this happen. Oh, here we go. But when talking, we're back on dysphoria. Okay, that's true. But when talking about it as a medical issue, like when slogging through a debate with trans meds, trans scum, you got to take their points and isolate them to make it more palatable for an audience. I don't know what you mean. I don't really like calling people trans med and trans scum because it just sort of, I mean, it's like them calling us trans trenders or like, I don't know, SJW cringes, or whatever. It's just, I don't know. I think using words like that is going to put someone on the defensive. Anyway, that's not what this is about, is it? Where is it? Being trans person. That's true. I can't remember what you're saying that's true to because I can't remember what I said. But when talking about it as a medical issue, you got to take their points and isolate them in. Yeah, sure. But I guess more so, I don't know. If you're talking to someone who sees all of trans identity as a medical thing, then first off, your foundations of what identity is are entirely different. So it's going to be really hard to actually talk to them about it. But trying to understand why, I think with someone like that, more so the debate should be trying to understand why they view it that way, rather than trying to convince them to see it your way. So obviously, and then obviously, if they're meeting you on a fair, sort of nice level, good faith, that's right. If they're being good faithfully, then they're gonna, what's the word? Also, yeah, sorry, mine's gone. If they're meeting on a good faith level, then they're also going to try and just understand your sides, not try and just convince you. And maybe minds will change. I don't know. I mean, mine won't. I'll be interested to see what people think. But identity isn't a medical thing. Identity is identity. It's not based in medicine. Obviously, there are medical issues when it comes to trans stuff, like with hormones and things like that. But that's just one element. For someone to say that that's all that being trans is just reductionist, and also it's just a bad model of identity, because it doesn't, like, there's lots of, you're observing lots of things, and then you're like, oh, here's my theory, it explains this section of all the things, so it's right? No, it's not, because you're not explaining all the things, you're just explaining this section of the things. That was a really bad way to explain how theories are gladiatorial. What's this other comment? Catherine, I like that you're open to listening and understanding the other person's point of view in the debate rather than just trying to win for debate. I don't think. Here's the thing. People who approach arguments or debates as things to win are just approaching them wrong, in my opinion. Yeah, because, like, I mean, if we just take an argument, like a household argument between two housemates or something, if you're just trying to win the argument, nothing productive is going to happen. Really, what would be better is try and understand, like, why. So if, like, someone, I don't know, someone didn't wash up, why did they not wash up to the time scale that you wanted them to? And then, this is a silly tangent. I think debates should really be about two people trying to understand one another's point of views, and then by understanding one another's point of views, you round out your view of the world more, and can therefore develop your own opinions with a more rounded view of the world. If you just staunchly sort of say, no, I'm right, I'm definitely right, you're wrong, then there's no point in arguing, because you're both just going to just shout at each other and then walk away. How's that helpful to anyone? So yeah, I mean, I argue with people all the time, and the reason I do it is because I get to learn how they see the world, and then I'm not going to say that they're wrong for seeing the world that way. They see the world that way, and their experiences are valid, but they're experiences that I haven't had, so I can take their experiences, try and understand them, and then view the world better and have a better model of how things work. What's this? Yo, a medical view of trans identity is very ahistorical and Western. I'd be interested to know what trans medicalists say about trans people before they were physically interventions available, before there were physical interventions available. No, yeah, that's a really interesting thing. So with trans men, typically historically, they get called lesbians. Like Charlie Parkhurst, from the age of, what was it? I think he ran away from home at 9 or 11, between the ages of 9 and 11. But from the ages of 9 and 11, he lived as a boy his whole life until he died at like 50, because he lived in the Wild West. So, yeah. And now people say that he was the first woman to ever vote in America. It's like, no, he was a trans dude, but just didn't have the words for trans back then. He's very obviously a trans dude. Obviously, trans women, it's a bit harder, but like they still just get misgendered and called like the first man who got to wear a dress, and the stupid. But yeah, and then also you mentioned Sky. This is Sky Davis who says this. Hi, Sky. Thank you for coming. You mentioned the Western thing, and yeah, the idea of the gender binary and sex and gender being the same, and therefore it being a medical thing, is a Western idea of gender. So, like, yeah, if you go over to India before British colonialism, or America before European colonialism, then they had like two-spirited people, and I forget the name of the guild of trans women in India, but there was also like, yeah, it's a very Western idea, the idea that there's only two genders. And then what's this? Ryan says, like, deconstructing the points and explaining how there is more of being, sorry, I need to read this in my head first. Like, deconstructing the points and explaining how there is more to being trans than pills and surgery, and explaining the social aspects of being trans and how that is more important. I hope I'm making sense. I agree with what you're saying. I'm just very tired. Yeah, don't worry, I'm tired too. But yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm going to try and do. Because I think with the medical stuff, mostly from what I've seen of London's videos, I agree with her things. I don't agree that. Yeah, and I think I don't know. There's a few stuff in the medical things I don't agree with, but her main points seem to be that dysphoria is really bad, and we should try and help people like get rid of dysphoria. But then she also thinks that if you get rid of dysphoria, you're not trans anymore. So there's a fallacy, a paradox there. But so I'm speaking for her. That's really rude of me. I shouldn't speak for her. No, I'm interested to see what she actually says about that. But yeah, I want to point out the sort of social aspects of it, because the social aspects is what I've always wanted. And like I came out end of 2015, then started transitioning, like came out to everybody in like January 2016, and like started socially transitioning kind of, I guess, November 2015. And I had 3 years before getting on hormones. I've only been on hormones for the past 4 months. So I've had 4 years to socially transition and live in my like the gender identity for 3 years, and just sort of tackling any amount of dysphoric feelings that I've ever had, just socially. And I've got rid of my dysphoria before I got onto hormones, like about a year before I got on hormones. So obviously it's not all just a medical thing. And that's kind of why I wanted to participate in the debate, because I wanted to bring forward the idea that there's social aspects that are entirely outside of the medical stuff. So yeah, I agree, Ryan. Where's the next thing? Sky Davis again. All cultures where trans identity is more. We're really bouncing between two different subjects, aren't we? All cultures where trans identities are more about social role than physical intervention. Yeah, like the Native American ones with the two-spirit people. It's much more a social thing, because they didn't have cross-sex hormones where you could do shit. And genders, I know that people say that gender isn't socially constructed or like over there, but they are socially constructed. It's like money. Otherwise, if gender and sex are the same, every civilization throughout history in all of the world would have the same two genders, or would have the same genders that are linked, that are exactly the same as sex. But they don't. Trans people also wouldn't exist, really, I reckon, if gender was exactly the same thing as sex, because they base assigned gender, the gender they assign you, off of your sex. So I don't understand how trans people can believe that. Where were we going? Ryan, again, I hope I'm making, okay, with that. Hi, Sky. Where am I going with this? Oren, I'm not going to butcher your name, sorry. I believe that's Oren, and then if I try to read out the rest of your name, I would just mess it up, so I'm really sorry. I'm just going to not say it. But if you want to send me pronunciation, then feel free. To put it simply, your genitals have very little impact on your daily interactions. Yes. The same with your chromosomes. Exactly. Awesome. I love that you agree with that. I agree so much. And you're right. I don't really have much to add. Like, yeah, if I go to the pub, people aren't staring at my genitals to try and understand what my pronouns are. They're just interacting with me and reading me, typically as female. Ryan, again, I don't know why I said again like that, sorry. And I'm so sorry, this is my old account. I go by Charlie. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I really should have been aware of that. Sorry, Charlie. Yeah, when I'm making trans content, there's going to be people with names that I shouldn't read out. Sorry for dead naming you, Charlie. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. So Sky, again, sorry. Really sorry. I don't think London says getting rid of dysphoria means you're no longer trans. Oh, they've alluded to that in some of the videos. She's alluded to that opinion. Mostly in her collabs though. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to speak for her. I'm going to see what she says about it. And I do kind of want to bring that up. Like, if you ever got rid of your dysphoria, would you still be trans? That would be an interesting thing for her to talk about. But yeah, I'm not going to speak for her. We can see what she says on Tuesday. What's the fifth person? Hi, I don't know who that is. Just need to have experience dysphoria. Just that you needed to have experience dysphoria at some point in order to be trans, maybe. I'm not familiar with her. Yeah, that's her main thing, that she sees dysphoria as the only way that you will know you're trans and that your assigned gender is wrong. Whereas I think just having an innate knowledge, or like an instinct, I guess, of what your gender identity is, and the fact that your assigned gender isn't that, it is enough. And just because those are different doesn't mean you're going to feel distress, which is what dysphoria is. Dysphoria is for distress felt from your gender identity being different to your assigned gender. But just because your assigned gender and your gender identity are different doesn't mean you're going to be distressed. It doesn't mean you're going to have dysphoria. And that's my main argument with that point. It's like, yeah, sure, a lot of people will get dysphoric, and then that'll push them to pursue transition. But I don't know. And I mean, she's younger than me as well, so I maybe that has had an effect on that opinion, because I got to 19 and had known for like a decade that that my gender identity wasn't the one I was assigned at birth, but like I just sort of sat on it and just waited until I was able to get out of the house and just actually live my own life as an adult. So I don't know. Let's see. So next comment, Catherine, you're fine. Yeah, that's your name. Not relevant to anything you're discussing so far, I think, but I'm curious how you manage to remain authentic online and how you are able to deal with negative comments without letting them affect you. So that's two different things. So the first one, let's talk about negative comments, because I know for so where is it? I don't have the biggest audience, and I never have. I've been on YouTube for like 10 years now. In August, it'll be 10 years. And where was I going with this? What was I saying? So I've had negative comments here and there just sort of splattered, but I've never had the sort of thing of being a ContraPoints type channel, or a Philosophy Tube, or a Steph Santiago, or a Miss London channel, where there's going to be so many comments that there's just going to be lots of hate comments. So I've never had to deal with it at that volume, and I don't know if I would be able to deal with it at that volume. I think I probably could. But how I deal with the level that I've had is I don't value the opinions of this random stranger who's just shouting slurs at me, or is just being mean for the sake of being mean. So why would I feel bad or negative about it? And I know emotions aren't controllable. So like, obviously, if it does make you feel bad, then it makes you feel bad. But for me, the way it's always been is I don't value that person's opinion. Like, so why would I care about it? It's like when I got my first tattoo. When my mum found out about it, I was really worried if she was going to shout at me. And then I went downstairs, and like she just sort of said, "I'm really disappointed in you." And I just went upstairs and was fine, because I didn't care about her opinion of my tattoos or her opinion of me. So I didn't care that she was disappointed, because, yeah. So that's the same thing with trolls, in my opinion. And then the authenticity thing, I don't know. Just be yourself. I don't know how to be inauthentic online. I mean, obviously, I don't overshare, but I don't lie. about my intentions or anything like that. I don't try to swindle people out of money or out of their attention. I don't clickbait or do anything like that. I just, like, I mean, at the start of this stream, which I know not many people saw because I was by myself, I went through all of the reasons why I was worried about Trans 101 and how the things that I think I failed on that first video and how I could improve on them next time. And just being open like that, just actually sort of showing that you're not infallible, because I think that's where a lot of inauthenticness comes from online. People letting their audience buy into the idea that they are perfect, like they upload regularly and all their videos are great and they always give the exact right opinion, and become this kind of godly angel type, celebrity type person. But just reiterating that I'm a human, I'm not infallible, I'm as fallible as every other person. I have biases, I will make mistakes, and reiterating that that is a fact and therefore don't have a go at me too much, is, I guess, that, I don't know. It's a big question, authenticity online. And I think Ali made a, didn't he? Yeah, he made a video about whether you can be authentic at all, but that wasn't really advice, it was more just philosophy. Yeah, I don't know. And I don't value people's opinions just initially. Like, people have to sort of, yeah, I don't just value hate, so I'm not going to care about it. And how to stay authentic. I know it's really bad advice, but I just do. I mean, I didn't know that I was coming off as authentic. Yeah. I don't know. Just say what you actually believe and just show that you're fallible. It's really the only two things I have on that. So we're coming up to an hour. Probably should have put some music on, really, shouldn't I? This would be nicer with music, but I don't know. Yeah, the next time I do this, it'll be better, I promise, because this was literally just sort of jumping in and just seeing what happens. I didn't think anyone would turn up, but like next time, which will be 2 weeks, because I'm going to do this every second Thursday, just like how every other Thursday is so basically just instead of an upload, you get this. And yeah, next time I'll actually figure out how to do music and have an atmosphere and stuff planned. Kind of relevant. What is your opinion on out there makeup? I personally like it. I enjoy looking macabre. I think that's his, and corpse-like. Yeah, it's a macabre. Other people may call it being a trender. So I think trender is just their version of true scum. Like we throw the insult true scum at them and they throw the insult trender at us, and neither of those words mean anything really. They're just insults that you throw at someone who doesn't actually agree with you. So yeah, people might call you a trender if you go for really extravagant makeup and stuff like that. If you're an older person, they might, I'm not going to say that. What is it? You do you. If you like extravagant makeup, then go for it. Personally, I only like wear makeup at weddings or like on dates, or if I'm feeling a bit under myself and like want to actually boost my confidence a little bit. But yeah, so you do you. If you want to look macabre and corpse-like, then go for it. But I mean, personally, the only times I would do extravagant makeup would be for a video. And as it says on my Patreon, I do want to like do more long form videos where I get to sort of do costumes and characters and like actually sort of use my art degree for something. So yeah, I think out there makeup is cool, and if you can rock it, then go for it. If I had the effort available to actually try to do like proper scene makeup or like punkish sort of stuff, or like actually do really cool looks and like get good at makeup, then I probably would. But it's not my thing. But if it's your thing, go for it. I think that's cool. I don't know. People may call you a trender, but fuck them. It's an insult that doesn't mean anything. So, and computer's dying, so let's put this in. Cool. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, yes, Alice, that was very ladylike. I'm worried about ladylike. That's just so stupid. I love out there makeup. Go for it. It's fun. Yes, Sky, I agree. This guy's really good at out there makeup. Like seriously. But yeah, just go for it. Exactly. I don't know. If I'm honest, like on what is it, Instagram? Yeah, you can follow hashtags. I think you can probably do that on most sites actually. But you can follow like hashtags. And one of the ones I follow is alternative girls or like alternative fashion. And everyone on that just has like pristine, awesome like gothic or punky or like scene makeup, and I love all of that stuff. It's so cool. And if I had the will to actually get good at makeup and learn how to do all that stuff and like spend probably half an hour of each morning putting that on, I probably would. Like I would definitely want to do that. That'd be really cool, and it'd be like really cool branding and stuff. But I'm just lazy. I don't care enough to put that kind of time or effort in. But if you can, then go for it. It looks really cool. I really love that aesthetic. Yeah, I kind of think there should be music on, but I don't know how to do it. That noise always used to stress me out as a teenager. So what have we covered? Dysphoria and how you don't need it to be trans because identity is different to emotions. I don't know. Right. Oh, it's 5 of us. Ooh, yay. Aw, someone left. How dare they? They probably have something better to do. I'm just sitting here spinning now, aren't I? That's so much fun. See, when there's a lull in bigger streams, they just open fan mail, which I find really funny. Fan mail is such a weird idea. It's like, oh, you're a person I've never met and don't actually know, but I feel like I know you, so I'm going to send you stuff at the cost of myself. It's a really interesting psychological phenomenon of being that attached to a stranger that you would send them stuff. Also, all hail Laura Jane Grace. Yes, Laura Jane Grace is bae. What other ideas have I got in the pipeline for the channel? So, a lot. So I'm obviously gonna Transformer 1 is going to be uploading fortnightly. Who's that? Malkoff. Hi, Malacroft? Yeah, Malacroft seems right. Ideas for the channel. Yeah. So Transformer 1 is going to be uploaded fortnightly. I have a goal on my Patreon, which once I get to like £200 a month, I'll be able to probably do it weekly. But until then, fortnightly, and that's fine. And then the week following each upload, I'll be doing one of these, which would just start by being a post-mortem about the previous week's upload, and then we can, I don't know, talk about whatever's going on the channel, and then obviously just sort of hang out and chat like we have been for the past half hour, which has been kind of fun. This is actually really cool. I understand why people do this now. But then I also have some bigger scripts, so one of them is kind of about the conflation. The one that I'm working on right now is about the conflation of sex and gender. And I like flex on quite a few prominent right-wing transphobic figures by parodying them. And I really want to make that. It's going to cost me like probably about a grand or so to actually make the full video if I want to do it ethically. But it'll be so much fun. It'll be so much fun. Then I also have, I don't know if anyone here's seen this Santa Colorita diet, but I think that show says a lot of really cool stuff about masculinity in the 21st century. And I want to make a video about that. Then there's going to be another one which involves Greek mythology. It's basically a lesson in what consent is, because I think it's good to reiterate, just be constantly talking about consent and constantly educating people about consent. Because there's always new people coming around and who haven't heard about stuff. And my idea to talk about consent is to use Greek and Shakespearean mythology to explain why consent is necessary for healthy relationships. Yeah, and now, so those are the three big ones that I have on my brain right now. No, I haven't seen. So Charlie said, don't want to cause anxiety, but have you seen what happened in April 1st? I think you mean on April, sorry, that's right. I'm not going to grammar Nazi you. On April 1st with the serfs. No, I didn't. But I mean, if you want to link me, then I'll read up on that, but I don't really know. Do you mean TERFs? Because I don't know. Sorry. And then what was the other thing? Oh yeah, Malakoff. Greek mythology is a bonkers example of consent. Yes, it is. And there's a figure in Greek mythology who I think is basically a victim of every form of violation of consent that you could do. I'm not going to say who that figure is because I don't want to spoil the video too much. But basically, I'm going to do the video as that character, and then they can sort of basically talk about consent and in all of its forms, because it's not just sexual consent. There's also like consent of life and bodily autonomy and things like that. So yeah, and I also I want to cover BDSM in it because I think BDSM is like the gold standard, or like good BDSM is the gold standard for consent. Like everyone has a safe word, everyone knows what each other's limits are, and everyone knows what each other want to do, and it's just the perfect idea. It's like the perfect expression of consent. So like the characters in that so far are this Greek mythological character who you can try and guess who it is, but I'm not going to say yes or no either way, who I think exemplifies or has been the victim of pretty much every form of abusive consent ever. And then I'll probably have like a dominatrix character or something to talk about the BDSM stuff. It would be cool. Yeah, and then I kind of want to also flex on Puck for being a really awful druggy person. Yeah, because Shakespeare's stuff is just as bonkers as Greek mythology for consent. What's about, okay, the serfs thing. The serfs, they're a leftist channel. They were terminated after a large false flagging attack. Good news is that they got their channel back today. Okay. I hadn't considered large mass flaggings, false mass flaggings. Yeah, that's something I'm going to have to think about, actually. Yeah, Malakoff. See if you can figure out who it is, and then like in the next stream, you can just tell me, or on Twitter, like just at me on Twitter. But no, yeah, that would be really cool if you can actually figure out who. Just like that's. But back to the first thing. Yeah, I don't want to be mass flagged. Like, yeah, and I don't know if I mean I see the serves are a bigger channel than me, and I don't want to be in a position. Sorry, all of the alarms went off in your head. Yeah, I was already really worried. I was worried about getting dogpiled in my comments, and my comment sections just turning to mush like for AJ Genesis ones. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd actually be able to get my channel back as well because I'm such a small channel that YouTube probably just wouldn't even bother to acknowledge me. Oh, okay. Bye, Malakoff. Enjoy food. I should probably go eat soon as well. No, we can do this till about 8 if people want to. That's my hard limit though. Yeah. Oh, mass flagging. That's yeah, okay. I mean, London's been quite civil so far, and if the debate goes civilly, like if I'm civil in it and actually listen to her and respect her and all of that stuff, but still obviously put forward my views and like make my arguments, hopefully the majority of her audience won't get all defensive of her and will come after me. So I think, yeah, that's probably going to be, it's really the only thing I can do. We've advertised it on both of our things now, and people seem to be excited about it. Like I've been getting DMs of people saying, I'm really excited to see what this is going to be like. But that's interesting. I'm slightly worried about that now. But you'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'm always fine. I've been through so much awful enough. What kind of food are you going to make post-stream? I have all the ingredients for risotto, apart from mushrooms. I'd need to run and get like 300 grams of mushrooms. But yeah, I could do that. Might just have a bowl of brown flakes with soy milk. That's wow. That yeah, food isn't my thing. But some people have accused me of having an eating disorder because of my eating. Sorry, is spitting annoying anyone? Because I know that it can sometimes be distracting to people. Yeah, so I either make risotto or brown flakes, but I don't know, I just eat food so I don't die. I don't actually really get much enjoyment from it at all. Gravy's good. I like gravy. I wouldn't eat it just by itself though. Yeah, I don't know. I'm autistic and like touch is my overly sensitive thing. So there's textures of foods and things. The flavor like lemon is like one of my favorite flavors, as is like almond and stuff like that, because they're strong and so the taste is strong enough that I don't concentrate on the texture. That could make me not be able to swallow the food. So yeah, I don't know. I'm a picky eater, but because I'm a disability, no, I'm not going to hide behind that. That's a bad thing to do. I was going to make mushroom risotto myself tomorrow. Oh, cool! I've only ever made it once before. No, so I had a friend over. Sky actually was over, and they pretty much made the whole thing. I was just sort of there doing. I chopped up some mushrooms. That was pretty much the extent, and I stirred the pot a little bit. But I watched everything they did, and I think I'd be fine being able to do it now. Mushroom risotto is lush. It is. You were right to turn me onto it. I wasn't a fan of the mushrooms because they're slimy, but my idea with that is that I'm going to grate them, and I think grating them would make them more palatable for me. You were there looking pretty. Oh, thank you, Charlie. You're very nice. What was I going to do? Do I have Spotify on this computer? I don't, do I? I was going to play against me, but then I just realized that would get this copyright struck. And I'm not making money from this, but I don't want a copyright strike. And although I reckon Laura Jane Grace would be pretty cool, I don't think her record label would. So, oh God, I've forgotten her name. Zoe Blade. Zoe Blade. I don't know Zoe personally, nor have I ever corresponded with her, but on her website, she says that people can use her music for YouTube videos and stuff at all, so long as you credit her properly. So that's why I use, that was another thing I wanted to mention in this actually. I use Zoe Blade. She's a really good synth musician who's been like mixing stuff since she was like 14. Like it's insane, like collecting samples and things. And yeah, I know her stuff is really good. Go give her a listen, because I used some of her music in Trans 101 and I didn't ask permission, but on her website it says that you can, she says that she's fine with people using it so long as like you give credit and like, you know, I think like all of her links, her like Bandcamp and stuff are in the description, and I credit her in the video at the end where I credit myself as well. You like Zoe's work? Okay. Do you have a preference on the music? Because I was just going to do City Lights, but I don't know if that's a bit intense. Also, finding the volume for this. Come on, please work. It should be fine. Anything's fine. Cool. It's loading. I'm on Bandcamp because I don't know my Spotify password, and let me turn this down. Come on. Okay. Can you hear that but still hear me? Is that leveled all right? That sounds like it'll be fine. There you go. Now when I don't have anything to say, it's not just dead silence. Oh, music is incredible. Music shouldn't just be background stuff. That's really insulting to musicians. But it's how I use it. I feel like I'm breaking the law by showing you the Magnus label. I'm obviously not. I mean, I kind of am. I haven't got permission, but like I'm kind of endorsing their product by drinking it. So they can go fuck off if they want. There you go. Ganners and Ners. Other ciders are available. Yes. Irish Magnus is also available. This one's, I'm confused now. Oh no, this is Irish Bournemouth. This is Bournemouth. This is empty. Don't judge me. Please. Please don't judge me. So with this whole debate thing, because London's a lot bigger than I am, like a considerable amount bigger, like over 50,000 times bigger. I know 5,000 times, over 5,000. I don't know maths. I don't do maths. But there's been quite a bit of attention around it, and like I've been getting a bit more attention by people who disagree with me, or from people who disagree with me. And what was it? There's one person who said, I'm sure, like, I've seen people calling you a transgender, but I don't think you are. And then they went on to sort of say how pretty they think I am. And the subtext of it was very much like they didn't think I was a transgender because I was pretty, and therefore in my head, and maybe I'm making a few too many logical jumps here, I don't want to put words in their mouth, but it seems like if I didn't pass for cis as well as I do, or as much as I do, not as well as I do. Like passing isn't a good or bad thing. It's just, well, it's kind of a bad thing actually. But if I didn't pass for cis as much as I do, then they probably would have seen me as a transgender. The fact that me being pretty is why they saw me as transgender and not transgender is interesting. I don't know, there's just been lots of weird things like that. I think incidental labels are fine. You're not outright showing and telling us to drink it. Drink this white label. I called it Slash. Kind of reminds me of season 7 of Doctor Who. Is it 7? Or is it 6? Season 6 of Doctor Who. The only good Matt Smith series. Because it's just go on a fireplace, but over the length of a series. I don't know. I don't know. How long should we do this for? I don't know. I'm gonna. Oh, there we go. Especially since I don't drink alcoholic beverages. I mean, good for you. You'll live longer than all of us and will have amazingly beautiful baby skin forever. Because it dehydrates you to hell. Yeah. And also, if like voice tone is important for you as like a trans person, then alcohol is actually really bad for that. Like it dries out all of the vocal folds and everything. It's a diuretic, so obviously. But yeah, so not drinking alcohol would be really good for that, if that is a thing that you care about. But I don't know if you do. What's this? I'm babysitting some ferrets, so I don't mind. You don't mind what? What do you not mind, Sky? Was it the... I don't know. Sure. Cool. How are the ferrets? Because those are really cute ferrets. I don't mind how long you go on for. Oh, okay. I mean, I'm happy to go to like 8, but I mean, and I'll probably be happy to go past that if we're still talking. But like, I also do have to eat at some point today, especially since I'm drinking. So yeah, but I mean, if this doesn't go all the way to 8, then that's fine. Seems like we're sort of being chill. I'm out of that. Maybe we should switch to some chiller music. Was this just going to be way too much like Ollie's stream? I've already taken this lighting and took it to the extreme. I don't know. Why does everyone think, oh, the ferrets are good, that's good. I also need to prep for an interview. Yeah, you do need to prep for the interview on Tuesday, babes. Like, this is work to me. It's procrastination for you. I don't really have any reason for not drinking. Not my thing. Though, give me sparkling juice or straight up cranberry juice. Yeah, sure. I don't really drink juice or fizzy pop because sugar and my teeth are kind of fucked. But no, yeah. Like, yeah. I don't know. Alcohol's not your thing. It's not your thing. Like, I have nothing against weed, for example, but like, got plenty of friends who smoke it. So I probably shouldn't say that online, should I? Oh, it's fine. It's fine. They only smoke it when they're in Amsterdam. Promise you that. Like, there's photos on my computer of when we went to Amsterdam. That's the only time they do it. And I just didn't partake because it wasn't my thing. Yeah. I don't know. Right click, come on. I just like tangy punch to the fact that 100% cranberry juice has. Okay, I've never actually tried cranberry juice, so I can't really say. But that sounds nice. I do like a bit of bite from it, flavors. That's why I like lemon and stuff because it has that kind of bite in the back of your throat and it's really nice. Yeah, I don't know. But that sounds cool. I might actually try cranberry juice then. I try not to drink juice too much. I try not to drink fizzy pop at all. Because if you evaporate the water out of fizzy pop, you're left with this tar substance. Whereas if you evaporate water, you're left with nothing. So yeah, that. So maybe I'll try cranberry juice next time the opportunity comes up. Wow. Got a frog in my throat. Where's Mara Williams when you need her? No one's going to get that reference. No one's ever going to get that reference. So what did people think of the Transformer 1 video? Was it all right? Was it too simple? I mean, I guess if you're trans, like that video in particular is not really going to be of any use to you. Where can I get bisexual lighting like this? It's not, I mean, I'd make it. So if you actually want to know about lighting setups, so I use these, which there's no bulb in here because they're all in for lights. Actually, 1 minute. They're just that. And they connect to, I think, Wi-Fi, and then you sync them to the app that you have on your phone, which is just this company's app. And you can change the lights to whatever you want. I mean, they aren't cheap. So I think retail prices are about 80 quid each. So £80 and that's probably as at $80 as well. They'll just hike the price up a little bit in America. But I got them on sale when they were half price. So I managed to get 4 for the same price as 2 would be normally. Which means I can now, sorry, I'm talking really fast. That jumping up there really hurt. But like in the Trans 101 video, I had 2 of these like on me like that. Like not this close, obviously, but my arms are going to be out here if I do the other thing. One of them I just had on like white light, and the other I had on the slightly. I'm looking at the video. It was a simple but effective for this. Oh, thank you. What's the name of the company? I promise I won't tell the advertising regulations. It's there. You know what? I'm just going to do that. There you go. So just that company. And they're LEDs, so they don't get too hot at all. They don't get hot at all, actually. Like I can touch this one and actually, is that one doing anything? This one isn't doing anything, is it? Oh, actually, it's filling my face out a little bit there. Or was that better? This is like, oh, fuck. It's yellow now. I don't know why it went yellow. But basically what I was saying was I had 2 lights on me, which would light me from either side, so that you didn't get what is happening right now. Like that one's lighting this half of my face, but not really this half of my face. And then I had one which was white and one which was slightly warmer, a warmer tone, like a more yellowish tone, like more sunsetty. And then I had 2, but like behind me. So I had one like there, and then the other one was actually behind my head pointing, which were blue and pink, so that those 2 would just lighten the background and I wasn't being touched by them at all unless I leant backwards enough, and then you'd get like a bit of a halo. And then the other 2 were just lighting me and keeping me nice and sort of clean. So yeah, what's going on here? Okay, I want to change the color of that one just to demonstrate, because I love these lights. Okay, that one isn't being picked up for some reason. These 2 have been having a bit of an issue recently, which I'm going to have to fix before the next thing. But this is just the menu. It's like, so you can move that up and down to play with the saturation of it. And then you can just change the hue by moving this around. And for any of you who are actually into film, they also have color temperatures, which is what I meant when I said warm, slightly warmer. It would be. I'm not going to go into that. So I've nerded out enough about lights, but if you actually are interested in lighting for YouTube, whatever, or for anything really, then that's the basic thing. Usually you'd have a 3-point setup. You'd have one that's lighting the background behind you, and lighting you from behind a little bit as well. Then you would have the main one, which is like filling most of you, and then you would just have a key light to fill out some of the shadows, which is what I do. But I make my key light a little different. What do I mean a little different? A little warmer. And it's really good. Obviously, these are quite expensive, so I'm not saying go out and buy these. I had some money like left over at the end of the month and like used it to invest in these. And then I also already had tripods and things. But yeah, they come with little nightstandy tripods, which are really fun and cute. There's one bed there. They're only about this tall, so I don't know. There's been stuff here. What's the name of the company? Promise I won't tell. Okay, we've covered that. Love the video. Oh, we've covered all of these. All right. Yeah, but thank you, Charlie, for liking the video. It was simple and effective and like good for cis people. That's what I was aiming for. Hopefully, as I make more Trans 101 videos. Obviously, with each video, the knowledge I'm going to expect people to have seen the previous one, and will extrapolate from the knowledge that they will presumably already have. So from now on, I'm going to be using words like cis and all that without explaining what they are. And then the next video is about the difference between sex and gender, and it's very, very simple. I want to put that out there. Next week's video on sex and gender is just as simplified as last week's one. So I don't go into how they're both spectrums or anything like that. I'm much more concerned with sort of tackling the conflation between them, and explaining why that's bad and why there's actually two different things. And then obviously in later videos, I'll go into how they're actually more of a spectrum, and like I'll talk about intersex people and stuff like that. But obviously I only have 5 minutes to do everything. And when you include the intro and the outro, I only have about 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes. Not even that, yeah. It's about 4 minutes, because the last 30 seconds of the video has to be there for the end card. And it takes me about 20 seconds to say the intro. And then the outro is about 20 seconds as well. So like it's actually barely any time to actually say anything. But the nice little bite-sized chunks of transgender content that is good and useful to cis people, I hope. I don't know. Got a bit too much headroom there. Framing. Yay, song. Thank you for stopping when I stopped talking. There we go. I don't know. Does anyone is anyone here actually interested in the sort of behind the scenes stuff? Because I can talk more about that if you're on. Like, because I went to film school, I'm probably a bit more, I guess, militant or professional with how I do my videos. It's like, yeah, there's like a lot of paperworky stuff that I made, and like sort of all the I actually use a clapperboard for my videos, because then it makes people don't understand. People just think that these are distinct sound, which they're not. Sorry for anyone that I made jump there. That wasn't my intention. These are, you put all the information on, and then the editor knows everything about the clip and can organize everything really easily and just edit much faster, much more smoothly. And then you would typically on set, which is the job I've done before, have a script supervisor who sat there with the script, making sure continuity is all good. But another part of their job is to record all of that stuff and then record down on which takes the sound messed up, or like the camera messed up, or an actor forgot a line, and record all of the mistakes that happen. And then what was it? And then they put that into a big document like called continuity sheets, and then gives those to the editor, and the editor can just sort of say, all right, so in scene 5, slate like 26, all like takes 1, 6, 7, 10, and 15 don't have sound, so I'm just going to not bother watching those takes because they don't have sound. Whereas without a clapperboard, and then they can go through their footage and find those takes and just like ignore them because the clapperboard's there. But without a clapperboard and without a script supervisor, the editor just is given all of the footage and has to sift through all of it, which just wastes so much time. Also, hi Natalie. Cool. Hi. Is you the Natalie I know, or a different Natalie? Because I'm a really bad friend, and I don't learn people's surnames. It doesn't come up. But no, yeah. So I edited maybe. But I edited the first video, but my friend wants more editing work, so I think he might be doing a few of the Trans 101 videos too. Okay. Natalie said I talked to you on Twitter a while ago about a video, but I don't know. Yeah. But no, yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, my mate wants more editing work, but I feel uncomfortable not being able to pay him. I'd like to be able to pay him like £50 per video. So like obviously my goal for Patreon is that most of the like goals are get to £100 that I can pay my editor friend £50 per video that he edits per month, and then like when it gets to £200 I can pay him £50 for like weekly videos, and yeah, that would be really good because yeah, and then obviously once I get to like £400 I can pay him like £100 per video, which is kind of the limit I do. I think £100 per video is the right amount for like how much work editing is. Don't worry, Charlie, it's fine. I'm just gonna finish this point about my editor. I kind of finished actually, but no, yes, that's why I do. I mean, I worked as a script supervisor for a bit during uni and a bit afterwards. So obviously, it's just my brain to like keep everything structured and be like, oh, so we got this take and this take and this take and this take. But also, before uni, before learning what a script supervisor was, when I made YouTube videos, I just filmed one big chunk and then went through it and just found the bits that I needed, and it was just a stupid way of making videos. Took so much more work, like, because I wrote down notes about what each take was. It's like, oh, this take, I didn't finish the script that I was trying to say in this bit. Oh, and this one, I didn't actually finish. Oh, and this one, I do multiple takes. I do a series, multiple takes in the same take. Oh, this one was a false take, and I didn't actually do anything. I was able to ignore the ones that weren't useful, and then it took me like about 2 hours less time because I took a bit more effort while filming. Yes, love it. It's so much better. So what you said, Charlie? Not only is it good for cis people, but for younger trans humans to understand with simpler terms. As type superstar, yeah, don't worry about typing style. That's fine. What is that sound? Sorry, it sounded like scratching, and I really wanted to make sure there wasn't a mouse there. I'll be fine. Yes, for trans kids, exactly. That's the main thing. I don't know I posted this thing on Twitter sorry. Let me know if you see a mouse anywhere. It sounds like there's a mouse, but maybe my ears are just playing up with me. Yeah, I posted this thing on Twitter, which was a screenshot of like a big note essay that I wrote, and it was about how like as a kid I didn't know that being trans was a thing, and that messed me up and made me look for places that I could express my gender identity without knowing it was what my gender identity was, because I didn't realize that that was a thing. In like really toxic and sexualizing places. So yeah, having resources out there for younger trans kids who might not be as academically minded as like 16, 17-year-olds, like having stuff out there for the 11-year-olds, and they can watch it and be like, oh, I get it, I understand it now, and I can understand myself better, and that's good. I wanted to be more stuff like that. All right, bye, Sky. Enjoy the ferrets. Glad they're good. If I'm honest, so I've been going for about 90 minutes. All right, yeah, that's about it. Bye. Yeah, that's a Disney movie, so I don't know. Maybe. So Natalie said she talked to me about, sorry, I presumed your pronouns there, that they talked to me about a video a while back on Twitter. What video was that? I don't quite recall. Also, can I do? I want to play. Push user in timeout. Hide user from this channel. Add a moderator. He wants a spanner. I helped to touch a reset. I helped to touch a reset, I think. Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. I think I know which one you're on about. Yeah. Sorry. So this has been quite nice actually. Sort of relaxing. But I've had so much going through my head right now that I don't know. I know what you're on about now, and you were very helpful actually. So thank you for that. Yeah. My mind go, but talking for this long, yeah, my mind's gonna go. Just something I'm really worried about on Tuesday, so I might have to just sort of stay aware of things. Hi, Juju. So this is something I've learned that I should ask. Are you happy with me calling you by your screen name, or is there a different name you would prefer to be referred to as, or to go by? Also, while we're on the subject, do people want to say what their pronouns are? Because I really don't want to think that I'm misgendering anyone. That would be really bad. I mean, I typically just use they if I don't know, but like it would be nice if I could actually refer to you with your proper pronouns. Sorry, why am I making fists? Mean. Screen name is fine. Awesome. Cool. Shive. Cool. Thank you, Natalie. Right. Mm-hmm. Yay! Oh, that's nice one, Charlie. So, I guess for people watching back, Charlie said, I I think I made my first real selfies on Instagram, and the creator I enjoy liked it. Little old me. Oh, I'm really happy for you. That's nice. Hi, Gigi. So the stream was basically last week I launched a new video series called Trans 101, which is where I try to explain uh, transgender subjects, or at least like the very foundations of them, in 5 minutes or less. Because so I was talking, like doing a post-mortem on the first video that came out and on the idea. We've also like covered a bit of stuff about filmmaking and BTS stuff. And then we also talked about a stream that I'm not a stream, a stream, yeah. Debate, a live debate stream that I'm doing with Miss London on Tuesday. Yeah, and a few, yeah, it's cool. It's been cool. It's been good. I think we're just sort of chilling now. Yeah. Yeah, words, voice. Ooh, there's an exclamation mark. I don't want to press it. No, I don't want to press it. It's going to be bad. Which creator was it, Charlie? On Instagram? Oh, I have no idea. Sorry, I wish I had like more questions or something to just sort of. So are you ever get bullied because of your? So do I ever? What? Oh, cool. I can't say that I know that creator. Sorry. Or what? Hog Dice. That does actually ring a bell, but I don't know who they are. So it's like, and then Gigi's question was, do I ever get bullied because of who I am? Just wondering. All right. I mean, not anymore, but like, yeah. So I was the kid at school who walked around the edge of the playground by themselves until the bell went and everyone went back to class. And then I didn't really hang out with anyone outside of school at all. Apart, like, so obviously in primary school, when someone had a birthday party, everyone was invited. But once that stopped, I just stopped being invited to things. Then, no, yeah, it's like from the age of 5, I've always been like that. And then when I was, well, in high school, the first high school I went to, I was like bullied awfully every single day. Had 42 bones broken by other people, so that was fun. Yeah, no, I've my whole life has been getting bullied because I'm like autistic and have minor cerebral palsy, and because I'm too feminine and all this sort of shit. I don't know. Yeah, it's been crap, and this is why my life philosophy is just keep trudging forward, just keep pushing on. It's gonna always be obstacles in the way, but like you just got to move forward with it. And like yeah, what I was brought up to believe was like just always prove the naysayers wrong. Like when I was born, the doctors said that I would have to live in assisted care or like live in assisted living. And no, I don't because I worked, and like it's partly just because my injuries weren't as bad as they thought they were when I was born, but also I've like worked really hard to try and keep up with everyone else at school and everything else, and because I was always falling behind, I got bullied for it. But I think yeah, I'm fine now. Sorry, that's oh wow. um, how old am I? Okay, so Juju, I'm 22. Why did I have to remember that? And then have you done a couple of collaborations? Oh, they have done a couple of collaborations with House and Momo O'Brien. Oh no, Momo. Maybe that's why it rings a bell. Maybe she's mentioned them. I don't really watch Momo anymore though. I don't subscribe to people who upload stuff like Momo does. It's most of the stuff I upload is more researchy things. Subscribe to. Oh my gosh, that's awful. Yeah, it wasn't great. I moved schools in 2009. Was 2009? Yeah, because I was in year 9. And the other school, rocky start. But by sixth form, I'd found like at least a small group of friends that I could feel kind of right with. And they gave me girl status, which was good. Like not in the social role sense, but kind of in the social role sense, because in the friendship group, the boys would spar with banter and like play fight and just basically be dicks to each other like teenage boys are. And then all the girls and me were left out of that and just left alone, and we would just like chat and sort of like sit on our phones and decide where they're beating each other up. So that was really affirming and really nice. And I guess that's kind of why, like, I've never had bad body dysphoria. I've had like social dysphoria, and I think that group of friends really helped me not really have social dysphoria, because I was kind of participating in a female role without expressing as female, which was nice. You had to think about lol. Yeah, I mean it's late. It's not that late. But I've been doing this for like nearly 2 hours, and I've drank half a bottle. That's not half the bottle. It's the same size as that, but this is wider, so it's about a third of the bottle. Your age. Yeah, I know, but I had to think about my age. Once you pass 18, you don't really have to ever think about your age ever again. But no, yeah, I'm 22. I'll be 23 in July. But no, yeah, to answer your question, here's more. Yeah, same on the age thing. Hey, I keep remembering and going, wait, I'm how old? Yeah, same here, Natalie. I keep thinking I keep wanting to say I'm 21, and I'm like, oh no, I'm definitely not. I'm older than that. But I also keep going to say I'm 23, and I'm not 23 yet. Like I'm just already in the mindset of being 23. I don't know, it's weird. Fortunately, I was never bullied to my face, but my friend and an ex of mine was very manipulative and controlling, but I've been free for about 5 years. Yay, I'm happy for you. Happy for you, babes. Okay, I'll be right back. I got to go shopping. Don't go away. Don't go anywhere. Not going. Right, see you in a bit, Gigi. I'm 23 going 24. Nice one, Charlie. I like it. No, yeah, I'm happy you're out of that situation, Charlie. That sounds awful. I'm sorry you had to go for that. This is really nice. I didn't actually think anyone would turn up, so I thought I was just going to be sitting here like about an hour, just talking to myself, and then people would just watch the video later if they wanted to. This is really cool. I like this. Oh, thanks everyone for turning up. That was really nice of you. Oh, the music stopped. Should probably, no, let's start Hello Calm. I said I'd stop at 8, so. Oh no, you can still show it for the post-mortem. Yeah, I called it that because that was the main jumping off point, but we kind of just gone off on lots of other things, so it's fine. And yeah, I covered all of my notes for the post-mortem thing before anyone turned up. And I've reiterated a couple of them throughout the video, but if you go back and watch the first part of this where I'm just talking out the camera for the first 20 minutes, then all the post-mortem stuff is there. So feel free to go watch the video whenever you want to, and then you can come back if you want to actually see my notes on the video. Oh, this won't load. We'll be fine. But yeah, I'm happy enough with the video. It was fine. Yeah, I don't know. It's just the format. I was just really worried the format was going to be bad, or there wouldn't be a big enough audience for it, or whatever. I don't know. It's also the fact that I hadn't made a video in 7 months. So yeah, but I'm back now, making videos regularly, doing it fortnightly. That'd be good. I think the worst part is that my friends. Sorry, don't want to be rude. I think the worst part is that my friend had a person I didn't like. One minute. So dyslexia is it's not your spelling, it's me. I think the worst part is that my friend. Okay, all right. I think the worst part is that my friend had a person I don't like tell me off because I was being a bad friend and distant, but I was super sick. But looking back at it, it's kind of super pathetic of them. Yeah, no, definitely. And I don't know, they're not in your life anymore, so you can have a happier time of it, hopefully. I hope you can have a happy time of it. Yeah. So yeah, to go through that. But I don't know. We all meet toxic people, and hopefully that person's become less toxic or less, as you put it, pathetic as time goes on. Happy for you. No, I'm getting a little tired. Why is this not loading? Here we go. There we go. That's nice. Thank you, Zoe Blade. Go check out Zoe Blade if you don't know them. I know that Charlie really knows them, but Zoe Blade's great. Her music is just lush. I've never said lush in my life. Oh, that'd be really cool if I could actually like commission Zoe Blade to do a sort of 5-minute track for Trans 101. That would be awesome. That'd be great, but I'm sure. I mean, it takes a long time to make a piece of music. Like it'd be like somebody hiring me to make a whole video. So I know that like I would just ethically, for my own sanity, not be able to like just pay a fuck all. I don't know. Well, it's almost 8 there. What? Well, it's almost 8 your time, so it may be a good place to end the stream and relax a little and get food in your stomach. Yeah. I put on this more relaxed music, so let's just sort of wind down. I'll try and finish at 8, which is in 6 minutes, so I feel like everyone's, but that's up to you, of course. Yeah, I think, I don't know, go for another 10 minutes or so, like wrap about 8, 8:05, and we can just sort of chill down and relax. And yeah. So if anyone has any like last minute things they want to say, then just feel free. And I'll head off at 8. Oh, this has been really nice. Thanks everyone for turning up. Like, I really didn't think anyone would turn up like at all, so this is really nice. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so now Lisa said, weird no, I guess. It's not weird at all, babes. But it feels really good to actually talking to someone on a stream. I've been really isolated and it just feels kind of nice to talk. I'm glad I could give you that. That's really nice. Also, Charlie's just said final statement, so I'm very glad I came across your channel. It's very much soft and calm, and I'm looking forward to your upcoming videos. Oh, thank you, babes. Yeah, thank you. Fortnightly. I looked at this monitor and not at the lens. That didn't work. But no, yeah, I'm glad I could, make you feel a bit less isolated. That's nice. Being isolated is the worst. That was my entire time at university. Yeah, I'm happy I could do that for you. And yeah, I'll be doing this fortnightly. And then there's also a Patreon stream, but I'm not going to say to anyone to go and do that if they can't afford to. So yeah, I don't know. If you ever feel isolated, then you can always pop into these fortnightly post-mortems and just sort of come chill out. Also, I'm pretty interested that Charlie thinks that my videos are soft and calm. I think right now this is kind of soft and calm, maybe, but I feel that I speak very fast and very sort of harshly, or at least in my opinion I do. So it's interesting to me that you think my coked up way of speaking is, and right now it's very Star Trek is calm. But someone else has that. It might have actually been you, but on like Twitter, Charlie, who said that they found my voice oddly calming, which was interesting to me because I think it just sounds pretty nasal and annoying. I don't know. Cool. Thank you for the compliment. This is, I guess, what I should be saying rather than just ridiculing myself. Yourself compared to other creators. Oh, okay. Cool. Thank you. Yeah. I want to try and create a welcoming environment. Like we were saying earlier about what debates are about, I want this to sort of feel open to everyone who can kind of come here and learn and like dispense their ideas in the comments, and then like people can talk like openly and with good faith in the comments. And I know that that's kind of a utopia, it's a nowhere, but as much of that as we can do and can have is good. I want to try and give people the ability to have a space where they can just sort of talk about trans stuff and educate themselves and just sort of feel welcomed, which is kind of why another reason I wanted to do these, to try and bring that kind of welcoming aspect up. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I don't like that at all. That's bad. Oh, I know what we can do. We can go. Oh, Gryffindor. What was I doing? Oh yes, I was doing red and teal. Because this is, it should be orange and teal, not red and teal. This is the color palette of Hollywood, because they're unimaginative as hell. And also it's made me go weird. Let's go back to our nice bylighting. Ooh. Just bring that down a bit because the sunlight's gone somewhat. Right, I feel like we're kind of done. I'm really relaxed now, thanks to Zoe and the magic of alcohol. For bylighting, but yes, overused in Hollywood. Oh no, yeah, orange and teal is definitely overused in Hollywood. Bylighting is becoming overused because it's been a trend recently, but also bylighting lights darker skin tones better. Like it complements darker skin tones better than blue and teal. I mean, orange and teal does. The orange and teal complements white skin quite well. So the fact that there is an undeniable trend of telling more racially diverse stories, it kind of has come in conjunction with. Juju, if you have a question, I can stay for that, but I think we're wrapping up right now. What was it? No, yeah. So the fact I have friends who are in acting school, and in acting schools, drama schools, they do showcases at the end of the entire course, and then, at least in the UK, they do this, and then they bring agents to watch that showcase, and you can always tell what the trends in cinema and TV are, and therefore just the industry as a whole, by what kind of students or graduates get picked up at the showcases. So like 3 years ago or so, and even still now, more muscular dudes were getting picked up because of the Marvel stuff. And like 5 years before that, it was all like the skinny dudes because like Michael Cera was popular and all that sort of thing. But now, like all of the actors who are people of color are getting picked up like instantly if they're good. Obviously, if they're a bad actor, they're probably not going to get picked up as much. But they're all of like the actors of color getting picked up now. And if you're white, it's like harder just coming out of drama school to get picked up. But that's because we're thankfully telling more diverse stories like Get Out and Creed and all these other really good films that should have been made decades ago, but we're only just making now. And I can't wait until it's like trans people's turn and like all of the gender non-conforming and all of the trans actors at drama schools are the ones who are getting picked up at the showcase, and we're just telling lots of really good trans stories rather than ones that are just about a trans person being an inconvenience in a cis person's life. And then, yeah, Juju, if you seem to have something that you want to say, so if you wanted to say that, we can cover that, and then I'm probably going to head off because I'm sleepy and I need to make a little bit of food. Oh wait, how long's the song got? Right, this song has about 3 minutes, so yeah, I'm gonna wait, and I'll wait to the end of this song, and then if Juju hasn't, there's only one person watching, so I don't know if that is Juju. That might be someone else. But if that is you, Juju, then tell me what it was you wanted to talk about, and we can cover that, and then I'll head off. But if you don't respond by the end of this song, I'm just gonna head off because I'm a bit sleepy. Which is fair. This album is great. This album is seriously fantastic. I love this album so much. Right, yeah, while waiting for Juju to... There was 2 people now. So Juju, if you just pop back in, I said, I hope you have a good rest of your day. Oh, thank you, Natalie. And you. But it's evening for me now. But no, yeah, so Juju, if you've just hopped back in, I'm going to wait to like the end of this song and then head off and make some food and go to sleep. But you seem to have something that you want to talk about, so let me know and we can talk about it. I do like NBY. That's a question, actually. Do you say NBY or NB? And are both fine? Because I said NBY in the 101 video, but somebody actually came up to me and was like, isn't it NB? I was like, I don't know. Maybe. NB, okay, cool. I said it wrong then, which I did admit to. I think NBY is fine, right? I pronounce it NB. Yeah, all right. That's fair. Okay, I've been saying it wrong then, like how I say windowsill instead of windowsill. But I do like NB actors being picked up, and it's unfortunately AFAB actors, and it seems to be a misconception that they're only AFAB MBs. Yes. Yeah. I know what you mean. There is, I think it's kind of where the idea of, from what like my research into London's arguments, it seems to be that's not a useful or productive argument to make, Alice. Let's ignore that. No, yeah, that I don't know. Whenever I go to trans events in London, the majority of people there are AFAB people who are presenting more masculine and are identifying as non-binary. And I think there is much more of that. Probably, I don't know. That's some. I don't have any way to say that that's true. So I'm going to retract that. But yeah, there's AMAB people who are NB as well. But I think it's the whole idea of our culture that the gender binary works in a way that. What was I saying? The gender binary works in a way. Wow, my brain's probably gone now. I'm really tired. Yeah, Gigi, say what it is you wanted to say, or we're just gonna have to leave it. No, yeah, okay, that was it. In our culture, it seems to be much more fine. There's much more wide acceptability of expression for women. Like, I can be a tomboy and people are fine with that. Well, I can't. If I'm a tomboy, people are like, oh, you're not trans, you're just like transgender. But like, a cis woman can be a tomboy, or they can be really hyperfemme, and like they're both fine. Whereas if you identify as male or like a guy, then there's suit and tie or jeans and t-shirt. Those are if you express more femininely, you get more ridicule. So I think is than like a tomboy would. So maybe that's why we see more AFAB non-binary people. I don't know. It's an interesting thing. I think we need to. Yeah, it's an interesting phenomenon. But like AMAB non-binary people definitely exist. Like most of the non-binary people I know are AMAB. I kind of feel like culture crashes gender non-conformists in AMAB folks, forcing us to use feminine woman roles as much as it can be. Yes, like if you're just a sort of more masculinely leaning AMAB binary, non-binary person. Let me say that again. If you're a more masculinely leaning AMAB non-binary person, people are just going to label you as a binary man. So I think there is, like Natalie's right, I think there is this pressure for AMAB non-binary people to lean more femininely, which isn't fair. It's not fair at all. Even with non-binary and agender people, okay, yeah, so you mean it, yeah, cool. Even with non-binary and agender people as a whole who accept more mask expression, yes, yeah, and I think there's just it's the pink phobia thing, isn't it? That like there's in some feminist circles there's this resurgence or this like emergence even of women sort of saying, I like pink and I like dresses and I like all this sort of stuff, and that's fine. And yeah, it is fine, of course. I mean, I have flowery bed sheets. I like girly stuff sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with liking what is culturally seen as girly stuff. But I do think a lot of, especially second wave feminism, kind of tried to erase typical femininity and like just label it all as patriarchal. But yeah, that's not the best way to think about it, in my opinion. I don't know. Even with non-binary and we've already read that one. Yeah. I'm like MB. So MBI just sounds more. It's more natural for my mouth. I'm just gonna say MBI. Like I'm MBI, but I usually have a more mask look only because I haven't cleared out my wardrobe and work. I don't want to destroy my skirts. Yeah, I think when it comes to expression, just do what's comfortable. Like, I mean, some week, like I think the entirety of February, I just wore jeans. But like, yeah, just do what's comfortable. I mean, I wear like ripped up tights and stuff like that because I feel more comfortable right now. And like people would probably say with this, bizarrely, if I just wore normal tights, they would probably say it's more feminine than wearing ripped up tights, which is really interesting and weird because it's more tomboyish and like alternative to wear ripped up tights. And for some reason, it seems, at least from my experience, that people label that as more masculine. Like more alternative is more masculine, or at least for women. And I guess, that's interesting actually, because more alternative for men typically is like more feminine, seen as more feminine. That's cool. I like that. That's an interesting thought that I want to explore when I'm less tired. It might not be interesting when I'm less tired. It might actually be some bullshit. Skills and tides are perfectly perfect, but it's still so cold here. Yeah, I get that. I just wear really thick tights. Although it is heating up now. Like April's become a bit more like spring. It's more raining than it is cold. Drip, drip, drop in the April showers. Bambi gets hate. I don't like that Bambi gets hate. It's a good film. Someone made a video about Bambi being a metaphor for nature. Good video. Wish I knew who did it. It might have been Big Joel, but I'm not sure. No, yeah, I mean, personally, with like my worldview is I just accept what people are telling me their experiences are, and I accept what they're telling me that who they are. And I mean, and obviously someone would take that out of context and say, oh, so what? If someone comes up to you and says they're a kangaroo and is like bouncing around, you guys are going to accept that? And it's like, I mean, I might not believe them, especially if they're bouncing around and like being sort of like a bit, why am I, this was a hypothetical. I'm there. Started, I can't not take part in a debate. Started a debate with myself. Wow, that was silly. But yeah, I just accept what people tell me their identity is. And then when somebody who I meet whose identity doesn't really fit into the worldview that I've constructed for myself, that I've like developed over the course of my experiences, comes across my like path, I modify the models on like what I have in my head to accommodate them, because they're new evidence in a scientific way. They're new evidence that my old ideas don't support. Like that evidence sort of negates my ideas. So I edit my ideas so that all the evidence is now supported by them, or like they're supported by all the evidence. Yeah. I don't know. Right. It seems like Juju has gone. I don't know what they wanted to talk about, but maybe they'll pop up next time. So thank you so much to everyone who actually came out and sort of was really nice and like chatted and stuff. That was really cool. I didn't think anyone was actually going to turn up, and this has been really, really cool. So thank you. Have a good time. Thank you, Charlie. Right, I'm really tired, and it might be this music. So I'm just gonna go. So have a good night, and I'm gonna have to figure out how to make this public. But thank you again, Charlie and Sky and Natalie, and who else is here? There's only like 5 people, so let's actually shout out. And Juju, and I swear there's someone else. Malacroft, and Catherine. Thank you all for coming out tonight. That was really cool of you. Bye. I missed the board. Oh, it's still not ended. This is really embarrassing.